In this video, I thought it would be interesting to take a look at some of the housing options available here in this city. Whether it's renting a townhome, buying a home or a condo, or looking into one of those 55-plus retirement living communities. Hi, I'm Susan and welcome to the channel. I go through these phases where I wonder whether I should buy a small home or a condo or rent a different townhome somewhere different than the 6th floor apartment where I am now. It feels like I'm always weighing the pros and cons and wondering how my life might look different if I were in a different living situation. I'm not sure whether it's analysis paralysis or, truthfully, a little bit of fear, or the fact that I still don't know whether I'm going to be living here in this city after I retire in a couple of months. So I research, I visit places, I imagine myself in a different space, and then I hit pause. I step away from the search and I let things rest for a while. But I do come back to it. So today I thought it would be fun to bring you along and we'll look at a couple options together. I'll show you a few of the properties currently listed on the real estate market right now in this city, and we'll look at some of the appeals and some of the drawbacks. Option 1, 55-plus retirement community. I've had so many viewers ask why I haven't considered a 55-plus living community, and I get the appeal. We picture peaceful, tree-lined streets, friendly, power-walking neighbors outside, laughing on porches with a real sense of community. But here, I haven't found anything that quite fits that picture. What we have here tends more towards assisted living than vibrant retirement living. There are seniors apartments and townhomes available in retirement home settings. But as I've done my research and listened to others who have opted for this choice, the picture that's painted of carefree, vibrant, active living is most often not the real picture. Some people describe these places as more of a holding tank rather than a place to thrive. And while it's easy to complain about traffic now, I'd rather deal with that than the only traffic being ambulances zooming in for their daily pickups. I love how retirement is sometimes described as phases, the go-go phase, the slow-go, and the no-go. It seems that most of the retirement communities around here are better suited to the slow-go and the no-go phase. And I don't think I'm ready to give up the go-go just yet. I know for me that while I do enjoy a quiet life, I do need to be around activity, people of all ages, living their busy lives. I know that I very well may be in a retirement home at some point, but I do think that most people don't desire to be in that environment until they really have to. I remember when my grandmother, my Polish babci, moved into a retirement home. She was a fiercely independent woman in her 80s. She had lived on her own fearlessly for several decades, but in her mid-80s, her health issues forced her very unwillingly to go into assisted living in a retirement home. And I remember the first time I went to visit her, she drew me close and said, "These people are old." She referred to it as finishing school. If there's one thing about Polish grandmothers, they never mince words and they tell it like it is. I'm very fortunate in this apartment complex. It seems about 2/3 of the residents here are seniors in varying stages of go-go, slow-go, and no-go. And there are many others who are much younger, leading their busy, active lives. And I know there's great benefit for us older people to be around younger people. It offers opportunities for enhanced social interaction, cognitive stimulation, and a sense of purpose. Younger people can bring a fresh perspective and even inspire a more active lifestyle. The activity, the conversation, the exposure to busyness keeps us engaged and in touch. Here's an example of a retirement residence here in this city. They offer seniors apartments and a range of services that can be added on as needed, like meals, housekeeping, or personal care. It sounds ideal on paper, and for many people it is, and the apartments truly are beautiful. The cost is, well, let's just say it's not for the faint of heart. A one-bedroom apartment, similar to what mine is about $3,300 a month. And if you need more support and need to shift into independent living, the cost for a one-bedroom suite jumps to over $6,000. And that's before optional extras like cable, Wi-Fi, laundry. So while there's a sense of security in having care nearby, it comes with a financial price. For me, it would mean giving up a lot of flexibility. And I'm not sure I'm ready to be surrounded by people who are only older than I am. I'm not saying it's a bad thing for others, but for me, I know it wouldn't be good for my mental health or motivation. Option 2, renting a townhome. Then there's the idea of renting a townhome. I really like the option of this. In theory, it would give me a lovely outdoor space to garden or to have friends over and enjoy. And as many of you know, my 6th floor balcony barely gets used. There are some lovely townhomes very close to where I live now. But here's the big drawback. There's a lot of pot smoking too. I've walked by on my evening walks and it just hangs in the air. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. It's just not for me. And I know people who have lived there and have loved the space, but had to leave exactly for that reason. They had pot smokers on either side of them, which made it very challenging to enjoy the outdoor space. Some properties do have smoke-free policies. For example, the one that I'm going to show you has a no smoking rule for leases signed after May 2018. But it doesn't apply to tenants who have been living there prior to 2018. And judging by the aroma in the air in that neighborhood, there are many of those tenants. These townhomes are nicely designed, surrounded by green space and convenient to shopping and parks. A 2-bedroom unit rents for about $2,150 a month. They come with private patios, on-site parking, and are in a family-oriented neighborhood. But again, there's no guarantee who your neighbors will be. And that's the wild card when renting. And that's why so many people are adamant they will never rent. Option 3, buying a condo or small home. I've also looked at purchasing something, a small home or a condo. Of course, there's a certain appeal to having a place that's yours, where you can live exactly as you wish. But let's talk reality for me. My budget at this point in my life, nearing retirement, is about $400,000. I would not be comfortable spending any more of my money than that. And even that would leave me with much, much less savings and a safety net for retirement. I'm definitely not going to get a mortgage at this point in my life. That's not for me. And so here in this location, I'm very limited with a $400,000 budget. And to be truthful, most of the homes in that price range aren't in areas of the city where I'd feel safe. And I know this about myself. I'm a bit of a scaredy cat. When I owned my home before, I was very anxious at night. Every bump in the night was cause for major concern. That's just me. I wish it weren't so, but it is. Here are 2 examples of homes currently on the market in this area. They are both priced at $399,000. Here's the thing, if I use most of my savings to purchase a home or a condo, then I lose the financial cushion that allows me to sleep at night, my nest egg. Yes, owning a home would definitely mean lower monthly costs. If I bought a home and used the majority of my savings to do so, then yes, I'd have a home to call my own. But I'd also be more or less stuck there. And I better really love it, because I wouldn't have any money to go anywhere else. And I'm not sure that's right for me. I'm not suggesting what's right for anybody else. I just know what's right for me. And if I were to buy a small home in this price range, it would most probably be in the fixer-upper category, which means I'm right back into the maintenance, repair, and risk of unforeseen circumstances at any time. That was one of the main reasons I sold my home, so I don't see myself going back there anytime soon. And if I were to buy a townhome or condo, then I still have shared walls, and I'm still sharing a lot of my space with others, but I would be far less mobile than I am now in an apartment that I'm renting. Here are two examples of condos currently on the market in this area. They are both priced at $399,000. So these are some of the options that I keep pondering: renting a townhome, buying a condo or a small home, or looking into the 55 plus community, or simply staying put in my $1,800 a month apartment, which I love. Each one has its appeal and drawbacks, and depending on the day, I can make a case for or against any one of them. For now, my apartment feels like the right fit. But who knows, that could change tomorrow. I keep writing my little pros and cons lists, and then when my brain gets tired, I turn on YouTube and zone out and save the heavy thinking for another day. How about you? Have you gone through a similar decision-making process? What did you decide upon, or are you still undecided? Let me know if you enjoyed looking at these different options. Also, let me know what might otherwise interest you in future videos. I'd be so happy to know what content you would find helpful. And I just want to take the time to say thank you, a heartfelt thank you to all of my new subscribers. To say that I'm overwhelmed, it's an understatement. I'm so very grateful for your encouragement, support, and kindness. Thank you for watching. And however this day may unfold for you, I hope it brings you peace and positivity.